So guys, we'll start with this chapter called lens. Uh, this is the B part of, second chapter of light, and it's it's pretty simple and not as difficult as the previous chapter. That is not difficult as the refraction through a plane surface. So here there are four parts in the chapter. A part is mainly about what are the different types of lens, and then the definitions and all, more of theory, little bit of application. B part is all about only the ray diagrams, how to draw the diagrams, their characteristics, their applications and all, where they are used. And in the C and D part, they are again both very small part, and there are also some cancellations in your portion. So the cancellations I'll let you know. And now right now we'll just start with the A part of the chapter, that is the definitions and all, the introduction. Now first, what do you mean by lens? So any surface, any transparent surface can be used as a lens if one of its side has a curvature or it is spherical in nature, in the shape. Like for example, say if we have something like this, okay, then it behaves like this is a lens, okay, or this is the other shape. So basically these two shapes what I've drawn, one of them is a convex lens and the other one is a concave lens. You might have noticed sometimes, when you hold a glass filled with water, a round glass, okay, or a bottle with your hand, your fingers appear little fat or bigger and all. So that's because of that particular shape makes that water turns it into a lens, convex lens. The spectacles which we wear, even they have got lens, convex or concave lenses. Okay. Now one more very important thing, that convex lens is also called as a converging lens simply because it will converge the light rays, whereas concave is called as a diverging lens, again for the same reason, because it will diverge the light rays. So we'll just discuss first what are the different type of lens. So 1 minute. So now these are the different types of lens we have. So the first lens which you can see out here, all three of them are convex lens obviously. How do you make out their convex lens? Because if you look at them, they all are thick in the middle, okay, and they all are what, tapering or thinner towards the end, and that's why they are called as a convex lens. So this is how you differentiate on the physical appearance. So they are basically thick in the middle and tapering towards the end. So in biconvex, what do you mean by biconvex? When both the sides, look at both the sides, they both are curvatures. These are called as plano-convex because if you see, this side is what? Plane, and that's why they are called as a plano-convex. Correct? In this one, it's called as a concavo-convex because this side is a convex side, but this shape is like a concave. That's why they named it as what? Concavo-convex. Now, this is where sometimes usually people get confused in this one. So how do you, whenever they say concave or convex, so whatever name comes later on, it means it's a lens of that particular type. So since it's concave or convex, it will be a convex lens only. Okay. Now, next thing, these are called as a concave lens now. So what are concave lens again? So concave lens are the ones which will be thin in the middle. So you can see, look at them in the middle, they are very thin, and look at the ends that they are bulging outwards. So if you see, this one is thick at the end. So those lens which are bulging outwards at the ends, those are called as what? Concave lens. Okay, and the ones which are in the middle, they are called as a the one which are thin in the middle are called as concave lens. In biconcave, again you will see what? Both the sides are curvatures, concave. Again plano concave, you will see that this side is what? Plane. So we call as a plano concave. Whereas in this case, you will see that the left side is like a concave. But you see on the right side, it's what? Convex. So these are called convex or concave. Again, convex or concave means what? The lens, it's a concave lens only. Got it? So convex or concave are concave lens, and concave or convex are convex lens. Now next one. Now see out here what they have done is that if you see we had these lenses here, right? So now what we'll do, let's say we try to break up this lens into smaller part. Okay, let's say we will just break up this lens into small parts. When you will break up, what will you realize? That this lens is actually made up of three main parts. So this one is like a slab, and if you look at these ends, these look like what? Prism. So if you take one prism, one glass slab and two prisms, you can obtain what? A convex lens. That's what we have shown here. That we've got what out here? This is a prism. This is a glass slab. And then again there is a prism here. So if you have two prism and a glass slab, you can put them in this positions and you can use it as a convex lens. Same way, if you look at a concave, it's a similar thing only. So you see in the middle we've got what? A glass slab here also. Rectangular glass slab. But if you look at the ends, we have got prism. But what kind of prism are they? They are inverted prism. Okay, they are inverted prism. So you can see in fact they are not even complete prism. Some part of the prism is cut and then you put over there. More like a trapezium actually. So these kind of lens are called as concave lens. So this is how they can ask you, draw a diagram to show how you can obtain a concave lens from two prism and a glass slab. Okay, now next thing is about the action of a lens. Now we have learned already that a convex lens will converge the light rays. Now why is it so that a convex lens will converge the light rays? Why so? Look, I'll just show you one of the rays now. So let's say out here now, say we have a, one sec. Okay, here. So let's say we've got a light ray which is coming from here. So we have a light ray which is coming from here like this. Okay. Now let's draw a normal for this to the surface. So this is a normal. As you know, normal should make what angle? It should make what? 90 degree with the surface. So say this is a normal. You don't need to draw normal. I'm just showing you for understanding right now. Now it's going from a rarer to denser medium. So how will it bend? Towards the normal. Now again, if you remember, these all what we did in the prism only basically. Now it's going from a denser to rarer medium. How will it go? Again away from the normal. So it will again bend what? Further away. So is it clear? So this light ray would have gone how? This light ray will just go how? Bending towards the denser to rarer, away from the normal. So let's say this is your incident ray, and then refracted ray, and then emergent ray. That's your normal 1 and that's your normal 2. Okay. Now similarly we can draw for the out here also. Say again you've got a light ray parallel to principal axis, rarer to denser towards, and then again denser to rarer. How will it go? Away from the normal. So I'll just mark the rays here. So here I have not drawn the normal and all like that. So this is that's your focus. Now this is the point where the light rays meet. That point is called as the focus. So what is a focus? Focus is a point on the principal axis where the light rays will meet after refraction. That's called as a focus. So in this case we have got a real focus. Real focus means what? That the light rays are actually meeting each other. It's called as a real focus. Whereas what happens in a concave cave mirror. So let's see now. If it's a concave lens, see how will the light rays go through the concave lens. So in a concave lens, first of all, I'll just remove all this part, we don't need it now. So in a concave lens, say this is our light ray starting from here and then from here. These are the light rays which are parallel to principal axis. Now how will this light ray go? From rarer to denser. Again this is going what? From rarer to denser. Then again denser to rarer will go what? Away from the normal. How will these also go? Away from the normal. So I'll just mark the arrows now. See, this is how they are going to travel, right? But when you will produce these rays backwards, okay, when you will produce these rays backwards, what will you notice, that all these light rays, they basically meet at one point out here. And that point where they meet, that point is called as what? Focus. So this point is called as the focus. Obviously this focus is what? A virtual focus. Why? Because the light rays are just appearing to meet. They are not actually meeting at that point. Okay. So again, as I said, there are a lot of terms, the technical terms which you need to learn. So they may ask you to show the convergent action or the divergent action of a lens. So these are the diagram which you need to draw. Obviously they are there from your textbook only. Now the next one is about the focus and the focal length. So okay, so out here we've got a concave lens now. In a concave lens now, how will you before that I'll just explain you something else which we need to do. Okay, so see now here, let's say we will discuss now about a convex lens. So first of all, see how they make a convex lens. So convex lens is made how, by the intersection of two spheres. So say you've got this one sphere and then here we've got another sphere like this. So the intersection of these two spheres then make up a convex lens. So you can see here these two light rays these two parts are intersecting, and that intersection has formed the convex lens. This point out here is called as a center of curvature, and there is this another point which is also called as what? Center of curvature. So there are two centers of curvature, that is what? C1 and C2. Center of curvature 1 and center of curvature 2. Obviously lens will have two center of curvatures. Why? Because there are two curved surfaces, so they are part of two different spheres. Now what is the distance from the center to this point called as what is the distance from center to this point? What is it called as? So this distance will be called as what? Radius of curvature. So capital R. So again there is an R1 and there is also what? An R2. Same way. So this is your R2. Radius of curvature 1 and radius of curvature 2. Now next thing is that if you draw a line which is passing through C1 and C2 here, this line, what is this line called now here? This is called as what? Principal axis. So this line is called as a principal axis. It's an imaginary line which is passing through the two center of curvatures. Now there is also something which is called as equiconvex or equiconcave lens. Now what do you mean by equiconvex lens? Equiconvex lens means what, when the radius of curvature of both the surfaces are equal, meaning they will have the same R1 and R2, or in simpler terms, when R1 will be equal to R2. So the figure which I have drawn, is this lens the equiconvex lens? No, because you can see both the radii are not equal. Then next thing is the optical center. What do you mean by optical center now? So it is a point on the principal axis such that a ray of light will pass through it undeviated. Okay, now see, this is a little difficult concept. So it says that if you pass a ray of light through this, that light ray will go undeviated, meaning see how it will pass now. So say this is the light ray now. So this light ray will go what? Undeviated. You can see the light ray is going straight. So if you remember, technically it is not possible that a light ray can go straight, because you can see it's going from air to glass to air, and it is not even falling normally. So obviously there has to be some amount of what? Refraction. But here we are assuming that there is no refraction. Why are we assuming so? Because when the light ray will go from air to glass to air through a lens, now these lenses are very, very thin. They are so thin that the amount of lateral displacement is negligible. And because it is negligible, we just ignore it. We assume that as good as there is no lateral displacement only, and hence the light rays are traveling in a straight line. Clear? So remember, there are two definitions of optical center in your textbook. The one which is for a thick lens and the one which is for a thin lens. So if they do not ask you specifically in exam, you can write for thin lens since it's easier. For thick lens, your definition is little difficult, because there you have to say that for a thick lens you will say that optical center is a point on the principal axis such that when the light ray is passing through it, then it will emerge parallel to your incident ray. Okay, but usually they only ask you to define optical center, so you can always define the optical center of a thin lens. Now next thing is about the focus. So now if you notice, now out here we are going to have two focus. Again, why two focus? Because there are two center of curvature, two radius of curvatures. There are two curvatures basically. So you'll also have what? Two focus. Okay, so there is one F1 and then there is an F2. Now this is the only concept which is little confusing. Otherwise most of the definitions are very, very straightforward. Now what do you mean by focal point? So first of all, these are called as what? Focal point. And what is the plural of focal point? They are also called as what? Foci. So it's called as either foci or first focal point and second focal point. So we'll discuss now what are the first focal point and the second focal point. So now what do you mean by first focal point? So let's say here we have got say this is a principal axis here. There is one lens out here, and I'll just try to draw a convex lens here. Okay, little untidy. Okay, that's a convex lens. Now so what is first focal point? First focal point is a point on principal axis, and this point is such, this first focal point is such a point that if the light rays will start from here, then those light rays after refraction, okay, so if there are two light rays starting from here, after refraction these light rays will go what? Parallel to the principal axis. So the light rays which are starting from here, they will go how? Parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so that's the first focal point. Clear? So the distance from F to O is called as first focal point. I'll repeat once again. This distance is called as first focal length, The distance is called a focal length, and that point here is called as what? First focal point. Clear? So focal point is represented by capital F and the focal length by small f. Same way, there is a first focal point for a concave lens. Now, how is the first focal point for a concave lens? So in this case, let's say here, I'll just try to draw a rough sketch now. Here, you've got a mirror, and there is a lens out here. Okay, so that's our first. One sec, I'll just have to finish this concave lens here. Just draw it freehand so it doesn't take longer. Okay, so these are concave lens first. Now what do you mean first focal point here? So they say here, if there are two light rays which are coming in such a way that they appear to start from this point. So let's say there are two light rays and they appear as if they are going to go and meet on this point F1. So I'll draw these light rays now. Look. So say out here, try to draw this. So say there is a light ray which appears to pass through the focus. Okay. So here also we've got another light ray which appears to pass through focus. Like this. But when you'll actually, what will happen, this light ray, it appears as if that it will pass through the focus. Same way over here also pass through the focus. But after refraction, what will happen, these light rays will go how? Parallel to the principal axis. Even this will go what? Parallel to the principal axis. So this is the path of the light ray. Got it? So the light rays appear to come from here. Then after the refraction through lens, they will go what? Parallel to the principal axis, and this is called as first focal point. So what is first focal point? It's a point on the principal axis such that the incident light rays which are appearing to pass through, appearing to meet at F1 or pass through F1, they will become parallel to principal axis after the refraction. So that's called a first focal point for a concave lens. Okay, same way now there is a second focal point also for a convex lens and a concave lens. Now we'll discuss how there is a second focal length now. So again, let's say first I'll draw the principal axis, then need to draw the convex lens. So say this is a convex lens here. So now over here, how will the light rays will go now? So say if the two light rays were parallel to the principal axis, light ray 1 and this is a second light ray parallel to principal axis, then what happen after refraction? Where will they meet? They will all appear to pass through one point, and that point is called as what? Focus. So look at the difference here. The F2 now is coming on the right hand side in convex lens. Correct? Earlier it was on the left hand side. So if the light rays are parallel to principal axis, after refraction they come and meet at one point, and that point is called as what? F2, that is the second focal point. Now next and the last thing we'll do is for a concave lens, second focal point for a concave lens. This diagram is a little difficult to draw it here. I'll try. So So again say this is a concave lens here. Okay, now over here, if the two light rays are parallel to the principal axis, now say it's a diverging lens, remember, so they are not going to meet. It's not that the light ray will go like this now, it's a diverging lens, so light ray is supposed to go this way somewhere, correct? So it is going to go this way, but now how do we know where it is going to go? So see, I have just drawn it randomly right now anyhow, since I am doing a rough sketch. But how will you draw in exam? How will you come to know? You have to start drawing from this point F2 here. So what you'll do is you'll draw a straight, first you'll draw a dotted line till here and then make it straight out. Same way what will you do? Draw a dotted line till here and then straight out. Is it clear? So that's how you draw the concave lens and the second focal point of a concave. If they ask you define the second focal point of a concave lens, how do you define that? So the second focal point is a point on the principal axis, such that even if the light rays are parallel, or such that when the light rays are parallel to principal axis, after refraction they will diverge away, but when you produce them backwards they'll meet at a point F2. Okay, so these, as I said, the first focal point, second focal point, the definitions are a little tougher. So spend some time, read about them properly and then learn it. Now just like because you have first focal point, second focal point, you will also have first focal plane and second focal plane. You will have first focal length and second focal length also. Okay, so focal length is easy. It's a distance from first focal point to optical center. Distance from second focal length to second focal point to optical center. Okay, so that you'll be able to make out easily. Now what do you mean by focal plane? So this is a little difficult now. So focal plane is what? A plane which will pass through the focus. Okay, a plane which will pass through the focus, but it is perpendicular to the principal axis. Okay, that plane is called as what? A focal plane. So same way now we've got first focal plane, second focal plane. Obviously one which is passing through first focal point is first focal plane. Passing through the second is called as a second focal plane. Okay. Now another thing, so far, okay, they can also ask you now to differentiate between concave and convex lens. So how to differentiate? One is on the physical appearance, as I said. Convex is thick in the middle, concave is thin in the middle. Second, convex will converge the light rays, whereas concave will diverge the light rays. Convex has got a real focus, whereas concave has got a virtual focus. These are the 3 points of differentiation. Okay, now there are some other things, a few important things, very important things rather, which generally are asked in the exams, is that if they ask you what is the condition for the focal length to be the same. See, let's say here we have got a, say for example, you've got a convex lens. One second, I'll just draw a lens. So now let's say here you've got a convex lens. Now when will the focal length of this lens, when will your focal length 1 and focal length 2 be the same? Only if there are same medium or both sides, or at least that the medium have got the same optical density. So only if you have two mediums on the same side, for example right now if I have air, glass and then again air, then they will have the same focal length. Remember, if I'm using air, glass and water out here, they will not have the same focal length. Okay, so if I'm using air, glass and water, do you know which focal length will be greater? You will find that your f2 will be greater than f1. So light is going to take longer to bend and meet each other when there is water instead of air. Like say for example out here, I'll take an example. Say I am using, say first it's going from air to, say if it is going from air to glass to air. So if it is air to glass to air, the light rays will meet earlier here, say. That is when you're using what out here? Air to glass to air. But now if it was water, what we notice, now the light rays, they are not going to meet at the same place. See what's going to happen now when you're using water, the same light rays here, they are going and they will go and meet further. So you can see that your focal length is what? Increased. So this is what will happen when you are placing what? Water on the right side of the lens. So remember, the medium which you've kept outside, it will make a difference. Why does it make a difference? Because the densities of this medium are changing. So in short, I can say that the focal length of a lens also depends upon what? The refractive index of a glass with respect to the surrounding medium. Meaning earlier it was glass to air, but now in yellow light you can see it is glass to water. So if you change the refractive index, then the focal length will also change. And the refractive index and the focal length, they both are what? Inversely proportional. So focal length is inversely proportional to the refractive index. Okay. Also we can say that focal length depends upon one more factor. The one factor is refractive index, which you already explained here. Second, it also depends upon what? Radius of curvature. Got it? It also depends upon the radius of curvature. So if the focal length is lesser, it means your radius of curvature or your lens will be what? Thick lens. It's going to be thick lens if the focal length is lesser. Focal length is lesser means what? Radius of curvature is lesser. Got it? If a lens is thinner lens, it means its focal length is greater. So usually you must be knowing, like thicker lens has got more power, whereas thinner lens has got lesser power. We are going to discuss this later on in the part C and D of this chapter. Okay. So they can ask you on what factor does the focal length depend. These are the two factors, the refractive index and the thickness, or you can say the radius of curvature. Another application they can ask you that what if I paint half of this lens black? Okay, say if I just paint half of this lens black, say all this is painted, okay, if I paint half of this lens black, what difference is it going to make? So what difference it will make is, what will happen, when you pass if half the lens is painted black, the difference you'll notice is what? That remember, first thing, it will have the same focal length. It will not change. Its focus or focal length will not change. What will change is the intensity of the light. So the light will be less, there will be lesser intensity of light. So you can say it will be a dull image, or the image will not be very bright. But rest everything else, the size of the image, the position of the image, everything else will remain the same only. It's basically only the brightness of the light which is changing. Clear? Yes, so that's all you have in the A part of the chapter. And as I said, there's a lot of mugging up in this basically, so it will take you some time till you by heart the whole thing. Okay.